Good afternoon, Vallejo. You're watching VCAT, your hometown television station. This is Community Forum, and I'm your host, Maria Batagon. You can see our show on Channel 27 at Comcast or Channel 99 at AT&T Uverse. We are aired on Thursdays and Sundays at 6:30 on Channel 27. I am very happy to welcome today two of the people whom I've known almost like forever, and they have been very active in the Filipino community circle and also in the public at large. And I would like them to do a self-introduction to give merit to their positions, because I might miss something. So I'm going to start with the former Vice Mayor and Council Member, Chris Villanueva.
Thank you, Mary. I'm Chris Villanueva, and as stated by Mary, I used to be a council member and vice mayor of the city of Vallejo. I was a new immigrant in 1975, and I became involved in so many organizations, and those organizations helped me go into politics. I'm involved also in various churches, in schools, in the neighborhood, and in various hospitals. I serve as a board member of the various entities and non-profit organizations, which include the Filipino Community of Solano County. Thank you.
And next is our immediate past president of the Filipino Community of Solano County, who have been there almost like forever. Norma?
I'm Norma Placido, residence Vallejo, California. I'm the former president of the Filipino Community of Solano County for 20 years, and I'm also the Solano County Fair Board member for 20 years. I'm involved in many organizations, board of directors, past presidents, and others. And today, I'm here to interview by our beautiful host, Mary Batagon.
My pleasure to interview both of you. I have some questions for you so that the people out there will know exactly your positions, especially in the Filipino community, because also our vice mayor was former vice mayor, is also incoming vice president. And so, and I have interviewed already Jesse Ramos, who is our president. I'm going to ask first the question to our young lady here. How did you get involved in the Filipino Community of Solano County?
I get involved in the Filipino Community of Solano County when my beautiful host, Mary Batagon and Mary Sakiton, approached me to run for Mrs. Filipino Community of Solano County as one of the candidates, and I won. And that's the beginning when I get involved to the Filipino community. And the president at that time was Mr. Attorney Claro Mamarel.
Oh, Claro.
And that's the president at that time. And he also persuaded me to be more active at the Filipino Community of Solano County. And I attended meetings and meetings. So that's the first involvement that I got into the Filipino community.
So thank you for that, so that they will know where you're coming from. And I will have a follow-up question, and then I will go to our mayor, former vice mayor. Why did you run for president of the Filipino Community of Solano County?
The reason why is when I attended the meetings of the Filipino community, and at that time I'm not president yet, but I'm a member, and I look around and the Filipino Community Center needs some improvement, and I had some ideas to, I'm thinking that if I run for president, I could renovate this building. So that's the reason why I ran for president of the Filipino community, is because of that I want the Filipino community, or I would like the Filipino community to renovate that building, to be more presented to the people and get more revenue for that if we rented out that building. So that's the reason why I ran for president of the Filipino community. Is just one idea is to renovate the building.
Okay, thank you so much. Vice President and of the Filipino community, I know that when I have to ask you something, it has to be on a broader concept. So what are the positive contributions made by the Filipino community to the city of Vallejo?
Okay.
I think you can answer
that's
that.
a good question. You know, when immigrations of the Filipino Americans were actually emphasized on living in Vallejo, because most of them are transferees from other cities, I noticed that it has a positive contribution to various communities, like the faith community. Most of the Filipinos are traditionally religious, and they made most of the churches that they belong to progressive. They build new churches for them. They increase the number of parishioners or attendees on their church gatherings, and actually it enlightened the life of those people who are in the faith community. Also in schools, most of the Filipino Americans, they excel in the various schools, whether it's public school or private schools. They are the pinnacles of students, model students for that matter. And the parents got involved, and that is a positive addition to the schools. In the neighborhood, when I was a council member, I noticed that most of the Filipinos in various neighborhoods, they established neighborhood groups, and they have this lumpia diplomacy, which they cook lumpia and let all the neighborhood people eat when they have their meetings. And I'm always invited with at the time the police officers are also included, like Sampayan.
Yes.
He used to be a police commander.
Reggie.
Yeah, Reggie, and also Reggie. We have lots of Filipino contingent in the police department. So we got involved in the city hall, as well as in the neighborhood. Also in the hospitals and care home. Most of the Filipinos are actually active in these entities. There are lots of nurses and doctors, and these are positive contributions of the Filipino community to the city of Vallejo. And I think it holds true with all other communities around Vallejo.
Okay. I was just going to say, how many years did you serve as president of the Filipino community of Solano County? And in those 20 years, what was your mission and goal for the Filipino community of Solano County?
Okay. I have been the president for the Filipino community for 20 years, and that's a long term. But as president of the Filipino community, it's not that easy. There's so many issues, problems, but because of my leadership and my passion and dedication, loyalty to the Filipino community, all problems resolved because of my co-board of directors. My board of directors supported me 100%. And as president of the Filipino community, my goal for the Filipino community is to make sure that the Filipino community, the building are intact. Like because of the board of directors supported me 100%. So my dream for the Filipino community to renovate all this, the old building was accomplished. We also renovate the old community, the little house at the back of the community center. And for that, the renovation of the old community center, because of the forefathers, they were the one who bought that one. And there's still a few, I think 3 or more pioneers, forefathers that left at that time when I was, that was 1997 when I ran for first president of the Filipino community. That year was 1997.
Yes.
And then when we had a meeting, this 4 old-timer pioneers, they told me that, Norma, don't ever touch the building because there's a sentimental value. You're only young president of the organization. But because of my leadership, I have to approach them in a very professional manner until I win them to approve that we have to renovate the building because the board of directors already supported me for this. So when I got their say yes approval, then the renovation is started, and then even the back of the community center, there's a little house in there, and we renovated that. And that the time that we keep having fundraising, breakfast, dinner and dance, Christmas caroling, other things too as well, same thing, casino trip. Yeah, so there's so many, and the major projects for that at that time was when we are not 501c3 yet. We have this Mrs. Philippines running for candidates for Mrs. Philippines of Solano County, and that's our major projects at that time. So we have 107. Oh, I think I have. We have 170,000 at that time. So that's why we have this keep going, trying to renovate and make more the building presentable and spacious. And so when it's completed, that everybody was so proud and happy because we get revenue from that building. We rent it out, and people are just coming and rented. And not just because of that, because we're growing, Filipino community is growing. So my other dream for the Filipino community is to have a bigger building. But because of the board of directors are always supported me 100%, and so we were able to purchase a bigger building for the Filipino community, and that was #1 major project that was completed that during my tenure as president for the Filipino community for 20 years, these are the one that was accomplished during my time.
Okay.
And
yes,
aside for that, we did not ignore other little things, like we still have a scholarship. We're helping people, those people in needs. We are the headquarters for people calling us if there's like the Filipino Americans that they have a problems, they call us and we direct them where it's like immigration or something like that. So the Filipino community is the main one for giving information, or people call us and we direct them where to approach or that.
To get the
so
answer.
Yes, we help people that are in needs, even because we are charitable, and we also help in the Philippines about this typhoons, so many crisis catastrophes,
Yes.
something like that. Yeah. So
Okay.
anyway, so that's our those are the goals that I have done to the Filipino community that completed and
Okay.
that.
But the Filipino community is not yet fully paid.
Yeah,
I want you to, this is what
Yeah.
I want to request you to do. Since it's not fully paid and it entails a lot of amount to have it to be fully paid, could you please go out there in the public to all our fellow Filipinos, as well as the charitable people in the city of Vallejo and all over Solano County, and appeal to them that we need the support in order to get our Filipino community paid.
Yes. To the Vallejo, to all the Vallejo, we are appealing. I'm appealing to you all to please support the Filipino community of Solano County, because right now we are in needs financially for paying our building. So if there's any that you could support us, contribute us, anything, sponsorship, donors, and others, we very appreciate very much for all your help to the Filipino community. I know, please support us. We have dinner dance or other breakfast or other kinds of fundraising that we have. Please support us when we come and approach you, most especially to the Vallejo people. We are here to appeal you to please help us. And I thank you so much for your continued support to the Filipino community of Solano County.
Thank you so much for that. Now, on a broader basis, I would like to ask Chris Villanueva, what are the future plans and you are, because you're member, you're now Vice President of the Filipino Community of Solano County, and and you're also a part of the community, and you are also a professional. What are the future plans to improve further the image of the Filipino community in particular, and Vallejo City in general? And I want you to talk about the Filipino community as part of the active force in the city of Vallejo.
Yeah, thank you, Mary, for that question. I already noticed that there is increased leadership and increased interest in the city of Vallejo of all the Filipino Americans. I believe that with our increased political power, both in the city and in the Unified School District, we can increase our role in those entities. Like, say, for instance, in the churches, because of there are so many parishioners, probably we can produce a higher auxiliary bishop or bishop, Filipino American auxiliary bishop or bishops. In the schools, probably we can have a Filipino American who is probably a superintendent or assistant superintendent. In the neighborhood, we can probably have a better leadership presidents of those neighborhood groups. And in the city hall, we can have a city manager or assistant city manager. We have 4 council members already, and the mayor is a Filipino American. I think we can produce a city manager, a Filipino city manager, assistant city manager, department heads, and with their talents, I can assure you that the Filipino Americans will invest in making the city of Vallejo not only the #1 diverse community in the entire United States, but probably one of the best model city in the United States. In the hospitals, probably it would be a welcome sight to have hospital directors or CEO, because most of our professionals, medical professionals, are in there. So these are the things that I think the goal should be inherent in every Filipino Americans in the city of Vallejo. Insofar as the Filipino building is concerned, our Filipino community now, we have the biggest among the Filipino communities in various counties or states. I think we are the only Filipino community that has that biggest type of building and yard. We can make it as a destination for all, not only Filipino American tourists, but all the tourists from all over can look at our Filipino building and site as a little Manila or little Philippines in the city of Vallejo, and that would be an attraction.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Now, I know that there is an event that's about to happen. It is public invitation for the Norma Placido's event. And could you please, I want it to come from you, the invitation, both of you. I want you to say what this public invitation is. I hope this is not a retirement party for Norma Placido, because I know that whether you like it or not, she will always be there to participate. So the event is supposed to be on March 23, very soon. And so would you please, both of you, talk about that? And what is the intention about this public invitation? Is it also a fundraising event for the Filipino community of Solano County?
Yes, it is a fundraiser for the Filipino community. Whatever the proceeds for this goes to the Filipino community, because we have this scholarship fund, we have this building fund, and it's not only for this scholarship fund or building fund, we also help, as I said a while ago, we are charitable, so whoever that in needs in the Philippines or here, we always help. Yes, this is in honoring my service for 20 years at the 20 years as president of the Filipino community, and I'm so grateful for the leaders of the Filipino community that they're giving me this this honoring or celebration, these events for 20 years service as president of the Filipino community of Solano County. And I would like to invite all of you, I would like to invite all of you to please attend my recognition dinner and dance on March 23, 2018 at the...
And who is the contact person?
And the contact person is Reverend Dr. Tony Obaldi Jr. The phone number is 707-552-4666. 1892.
Is it?
And also Eloise Scott at 707-648-6715. And this to be held at the Filipino Community Center at 611 Amador Street, Vallejo, California. Start at 6 o'clock p.m. Dinner start at 7.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I'd like to add to the invitation and solicitation of our past president that this could be a two-way thing, especially now tax season. I am a CPA, I'm a tax preparer. If you want to have some tax shelter, please donate to the Filipino community. It's a tax-deductible donation to a non-profit organization. Thank you very much.
Okay, and now I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
I'm going to put our Vice President of the Filipino Community on the spot. Well, it's always broader. My question to you is always broader because it encompasses your experiences. So, as a former council member and vice mayor, and as current vice president of the Filipino Community of Solano County, what are the challenges that the organization faces? And what, according to your experiences, are the vital answers and solutions to these challenges?
Yeah, the challenges is, we have not tapped the entire Filipino American citizenry in Vallejo. If we can get at least 25% of the Filipino being involved in that Filipino community, it will be a very successful Filipino community. So I would like to ask our Filipino community to be part of this Filipino community crusade, because this building is yours. It is owned by a non-profit organization which we are involved in. So all of us will be owner of this Filipino community, and it's a non-profit organization. Nobody owns it but us, the Filipino community, as well as the entire community of the city of Vallejo, because the city of Vallejo owns, after everything is done and it will be dissolved, the money goes to a non-profit organization as so designated. Nobody owns it but us. So let's be owner of this proud Filipino community. You will have the best building in the entire United States, because I have been in the United States and have never seen a Filipino community center as elegant and as good as ours. So support us and be part of us. Thank you very much.
I have a follow-up.
Okay.
And because both of you are in the community almost up to your neck, and so both of you, I want you guys to appeal, especially to our youth and to our young professionals,
exactly,
so that they can get involved, because we are getting up there in age. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be 80 on July 22, so I need a replacement for myself.
Exactly.
So that, that could help the Filipino community. Could you please, I'm going to get you to appeal to the youth, and you will be also appealing to the youth.
Yeah,
Okay.
the old forefathers have given us this organization. This organization was established in 1946, and that's the date mark, the year that I was born, 1946, and I'm now 72 years old. And when I came here, I was single. And I was involved in the Filipino community when I was single. Now I am already retired and almost going out there. But if you can be as involved as I was when we were there, we were the young ones at that time, we were able to duplicate their efforts. Now, it is a challenge on these young people now to also redouble your motivation, so that we can actually have a good legacy for you to preserve and maintain. So I ask that the young ones, the millennials, get involved and step in and give us your 100% support. And this will be yours in the future. And for the present, it is already yours. Make it a better one and a safer one. Thank you very much.
Madam Past President of the Filipino Community, your turn.
Yes. And before I go to that one, I would like also to add on about that Filipino community. Just to let everyone knows that we are the only one Filipino community of Solano County and Vallejo that have 2 buildings in entire USA. So we are very proud to say that we have 2 buildings of the Filipino community at the Vallejo, and also a little house at the back of the community center. Yes, I agree. Chris, what he said, that youth, we are appealing you to get involved to the Filipino community because we need you. I know that you are more, this is now high-tech or millennium, that we need you at the Filipino community, especially those teenagers, those that we give those scholarship. I want you to come back and help us. And who knows, you will be the next president of the Filipino community, because I know that you have different ideas, lots of potentials that you could do at the Filipino community. And also, not only that, but you could continue what we're doing, like this, showcasing our culture, the Philippines, because right now we also have this Philippine Pista Sanayon, that we showcase our cultural history, tradition, and that's very, very important. And we love you to come to the Filipino community to attend meetings, so that you will be the one to take over as the president and officers of the Filipino community, because we're getting older, as my partner, our former vice president, said. So we are appealing you to come back to us.
So on that note, we're running out of time, and so I would like you to thank both of you for coming, and I want to congratulate you on the positive reinforcement to the youth, because that's very important, so that there is an even replacement for us.
Exactly.
So thank you very much for coming.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Both of you.
Thank
Chris?
you.